kickstart the program, please allow me to acknowledge the following. The Honorable Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Re Ontefetse Kenneth Matambo, members of the BSE Main Committee, Re Letshweni Mamagama, Mr. Makhatle, Mr. Matsake, Mr. Mohotlo here present, the Chief Executive Officer of the Botswana Stock Exchange, Re Thapelo Theola, representatives from NBFIRA, Chief Executive Officers, Managing Directors of listed companies and their representatives, members of the BSE, that is the broking community, stakeholders in their diversity, members of the media fraternity, friends of the BSE, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is an honor and privilege to welcome you to the inaugural opening bell ceremony hosted by the BSE. To kickstart today's proceedings, allow me to introduce the program. Retole is going to give welcome remarks to officially welcome you to this beautiful building. The Honorable Minister will also share a few remarks. There will be a bell ringing ceremony following that to signal that the market has officially opened. Following that, we'll have a photo opportunity followed by the vote of thanks by Mr. Letshweni, that is a BSE board member. Bagaetso, allow me to welcome the Chief Executive Officer of the BSE, Re Thapelo Theola, to officially welcome you to the BSE.
The Honorable Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Re Kenneth Matambo, members of the BSE Main Committee, Re Letshweni, Re Makhatle, Le Mamagama, and Mr. Mohotlo, I think he's here. NBFIRA Capital Markets Director, Juliana White, Senior Ministry officials here, Rem Mereki there, and Mr. Poe, several CEOs of listed companies here present, the managing directors, compliance officers and representatives, members of the BSE stockbroking community, members of the media, and all distinguished guests here. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me take this opportunity to welcome all of you, especially the Minister of Finance, Ramatambo, to this historic event of the inaugural opening bell. And this is a stock market ritual that happens around the world, and it started many years ago in the 1900s when stock markets had trading floors. And as the BSE, we have decided to run a series of opening bells starting today, and they will continue over the next few months, the first week or the first day of each trading month. If it doesn't make sense to you now, don't worry. It will make sense in the near future when this becomes a common feature. And this is basically one of the initiatives to bring awareness about capital markets, and also to make a lot of people aware about the presence of and importance of stock market in Botswana. Because as the BSE, we do a lot of community outreach. This year, since the beginning, we have been to Kanye, to Joaneng, and Mahalape. 2 weeks ago, we were in Tsabung to do the normal open days that we have been doing for the past 3 years. And I'm happy to say that they have proved to be very successful. We are seeing a lot of Botswana coming to the market with their 100 pullers, their 50 pullers, and ultimately building their portfolio. So today we have gathered here to experience the inaugural opening bell session, which is going to be done by the Honorable Minister of Finance, Rema Tambo. And in addition to a lot of the initiatives that we have done, we launched a publication this year, a BSC News, which is done every quarter. It's a very good read. I think you should get a hand on it and enjoy the content of it. And this is one of the strategies to make an impact in the market, both locally and internationally. And like we have always said, we have also started to get a lot of international and regional recognition as a stock market. This year we hosted more than 20 countries in Kasane as Africa Middle East Depository members gathered in Kasane for the first time ever. And they were very fortunate because I think out of all this there were close to 46 people from around the continent, the two continents, Middle East and Africa. And some of them actually confessed that they have never seen a real animal. It was their first time ever to see an elephant. And I know the first day we took them in a game drive, there were 7 cars in the Chobe National Park. And out of those 7 cars, one of the cars saw a leopard. And I think they were very excited. And we want this recognition to host this thing because of the activities, the vibrancy of our market. And I'm also happy to announce that next year, November, we are going to be hosting the African stock markets in Botswana, November 2019. And this is a 400 people conference. Our intention is to take it to Kasane. The only challenge that we are still grappling with is the accommodation, because this is 400 strong delegation of financial markets people. And also we have been honored further this year by the whole of SADC requested us to host the Secretariat of SADC Stock Exchanges, which have been based in Johannesburg since 1997. So effectively this year, we are the Secretariat of all the 14 stock exchanges in SADC. And I had the honor to be elected the chairman of the SADC stock exchanges for the next 2 years. And I'm also happy to announce that this week we had a very huge trade for the year. We hope more trades will come. We traded 280 million pula on Tuesday. On Wednesday. It's on Wednesday. We didn't pop a champagne as usual because we anticipate that more of these trades are actually going to come. They might sound like very isolated small deals, but these are very particularly important because in the previous years, when a trade of 400 million was actually on the market, they will never do it here. They will do it in Australia or in London or in Toronto. But the fact that we are able to handle such amount of money shows that, the government of Botswana was able to help us with adequate infrastructure to be able to handle your 400 millions, your 280 millions in terms of the state-of-art CSD and automated trading system, which were fully funded by the government, which we really appreciate, Honorable Minister. Because the market opens at 9:55 and that cannot be postponed, the bell have to ring to that. I think I will take this opportunity to welcome you to this inaugural bell ringing sessions, which is going to be formal gathering to do every month. We'll reduce it to weeks, and then ultimately to do it every day. With those few welcoming remarks, feel at home in our new very beautiful offices, and look forward for a lot of other developments. I know MB Fira Mawait yesterday approved the listing rules. This opens up a huge opportunity for even the launch of our SMME board. Thank you very much for that, Mawait and MB Fira. With those few remarks, let me have the honor to invite to the podium our very supportive minister, Ramatambo. It's lovely to have you in the stock market. Ramatambo have always been supportive of us as the stock market, especially as a young CEO in this country. I have a shoulder to cry on when it's tough, and I can confess he have always been making our work very easy, very accessible. When it's tough, I just call him, and I don't think he have ever missed my call. I'm the only one who missed your call on Monday. Let me take the pleasure to welcome you to the stage, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fowler, for your introductory remarks. And let me thank you for two things. First, for introducing me to some of the people who may not know me very well. I think you have just indicated what kind of person I am, or who I am. And also let me commend you for having been recognized by other stock exchanges in Southern Africa, in SADC, that is to say. I didn't know that you were actually elected secretary of the SADC stock exchanges. I commend you for that, and I'm not surprised that that is the case, because you are doing a very good job here as CEO and as the exchange itself. Now, if the bell is going to ring after 9:55, I think you know who to blame. It won't be me. Be that as it may, I would like to say it's indeed my pleasure to make a few remarks, and they are going to be few. I had a long draft when it came to me, and I cut it to a very short speech. So I'm happy indeed to make these few remarks on the occasion of the inaugural opening bell ceremony at the Botswana Stock Exchange today. I understand that this ceremony marks the official launch of what is expected to be a regular ceremony at the BSE going forward. I take this opportunity to commend the efforts of the BSE in embarking on various initiatives to develop the market and in introducing an opening bell ceremony, which I'm advised, indeed he has said it here, that it will be conducted monthly henceforth. In the last few years, the Botswana Stock Exchange has made progress, I'm happy to indicate, in terms of positioning itself as an important vehicle for issuers and investors. I wish to commend the initiatives such as the annual listings and investment conference, through which the Botswana Stock Exchange educates companies about the growth prospects that can be achieved through the stock market. Just last week, I'm informed that the Botswana Stock Exchange team hosted an open day in Sabo, many miles from Kaboho. These open days, I wish to indicate that the BSE has been hosting in various parts of this country, have been indeed instrumental in educating even ordinary Botswana, and that is what we are looking for as a government, educating ordinary Botswana about investing in the stock exchange and in the listed securities at BSE. I'm informed that already in 2018, 5 months have passed since January, but already the Botswana Stock Exchange has hosted open days in Jani, in Kanye and Mahala. So we commend you for this, Director. Coming back now to the open bell ceremony, I understand, as he has indicated in his opening remarks, that this is a historic event at all stock exchanges around the world, as a bell is rung on the trading floor to signify the start of the day's trading session, or to officially welcome to the market companies that are trading their securities for the first time. The Botswana Stock Exchange wishes to adopt this kind of ceremony to create awareness on the stock market and bring vibrancy to the capital market. And this is all in the journey for the stock exchange to become a world-class exchange. The opening bell ceremony will also serve as a platform to generate exposure for listed companies, or make news announcements whenever there are such news announcements to be made, or celebrate corporate and national milestones. The event will also be used to champion causes that are of critical importance to the economy and indeed the welfare of Botswana. So in the future, the ceremony will involve, I'm advised, dignitaries from different sectors, representatives of listed companies, ordinary Botswana, whether they have invested in the Botswana Stock Exchange listed securities or not, will be given the opportunity, as well as our heroes and heroines who continue to make Botswana proud in different ways. In some instances, I'm advised, opening bell ceremony will be followed by interviews on topical issues to promote dialogue. With these few remarks, because 9:55, I don't know whether we are still at it or not, just a few minutes after 9:55. With these few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to commend the Botswana Stock Exchange for developing the market ever so diligently, as I've already indicated, CEO, and also for creating awareness on the activities of the exchange. I thank you for your attention, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for those wonderful remarks. We're now going to proceed with the bell ringing. What is going to happen is the Honorable Minister is going to hold and ring one bell while the CEO of the BSE holds the other. I'm going to invite the BSE main committee to kindly join the Honorable Minister and the CEO on stage. Ramakhatle, Mama Gama, Mr. Mohotlo, kindly join us on stage. So we're going to start the bell ringing. At one point, you will see the screen changing behind us, just to signal that the market has officially opened. On a count of 3, you may start ringing the bell. 1, 2, 3.
We have done it.
Thank you. You may be seated. At this point, I'm going to invite a BSE board member, Ray Letwendi, to officially thank everybody for coming. And following the vote of thanks, we have some refreshments outside, so you have the opportunity to network further. Ray Letwendi, the stage is yours.
Honorable Minister of Finance and Economic Development, Mr. Matambo, thank you for being here. Members of the BSE main committee, my fellow board members, Mr. Tewole and Bafira, and chief executive officers and managing directors of listed companies, media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, we at the BSE thank you for honoring us this day to come and open, to have a inaugural opening ceremony, opening bell ceremony, which will continue to indicate that we are no different to great stock exchanges throughout the world. And you know that the New York Stock Exchange, the London Stock Exchange, all exchanges, they do this every day. So we are starting, we're going to do it every month. Like the CEO said, bring it to every week, bring it to every day. And you may say, why ring the bell? Of course, you can Google it, and the whole idea is that we want to start. But I'm reminded of a philosophical question where the philosophers ask, if a tree falls in the forest and there is no one to hear it, does it make a sound? And the question is, if we ring the bell and there's no one to hear it, does it make a sound? It does, doesn't it? And the whole idea of the sound waves that go out is the idea that, you know, our country is open for business. Now, sound is one of those powerful things that reverberates through life. You know that when there's an earthquake about to happen, animals never get harmed because they hear it before the humans hear it. Sound waves go up. So we will always ring the bell. Whether you hear it or not, we are sending sound waves through the country to say Botswana is open for business. And thank you for honoring us today to come and witness us continuing to say Botswana is open for business. Thank you so very much for coming.